What's up, y'all? It is the Dark Drummer bringing you a different sort of video today, sort of a rant. I've never really done a rant before, but you know, this has been something I really wanted to get off my chest in the video for a while now. Sorry if my voice sounds different. My throat really hurts. Just a few hours ago, I really couldn't talk. Well, I could talk, but it would hurt really bad, and it's kind of weird because I had a cough drop, then my throat got worse, and now I can talk now. It's not as bad. But anyway, let's get on to the topic again. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Things I hate about school. I'm gonna talk about teachers and students because, to be honest, I'm not gonna just rant on teachers. Teachers have a very hard job dealing with weird, messed up, ignorant middle school students. And I praise them for that, because some days I just look around and say, how can you deal with these people? Anyway, number one, teachers not letting you go to the bathroom. I'm sure nearly every single student that has ever lived has had a problem with this, because for some reason teachers just don't like students going in the bathroom. Now I can kind of see their perspective, because I've seen like a couple times I see students in the bathroom like checking their phones and just messing around, and I can understand they're basically skipping class by going to the bathroom. So I understand their paranoia, but seriously, it gets overboard. Now I read somewhere that it's actually proven that adults have better bladders than kids, so I don't think it's up to the teacher's judgment whether I have to go to the bathroom or not. And I'm sure everyone knows it's really annoying when the teacher says, well, you go up to them and say, can I use the bathroom? No, why don't you just go in during lunch, or go during the other free period or whatever? And you know you can't say it out loud, but you don't just think to yourself, man, I gotta go when I gotta go. I'm not sure, do adults know this, but I guess I'll find out in a few years, but you don't, the feeling of having to go to the bathroom doesn't gradually build up. It's just once you leave lunch, then a few minutes later you're in classroom, and then you say, I have to pee, and then it just happens. It's not like you think in lunch, I have to pee, but I guess I'll rest on it a bit. I mean, it's really rare that happens, so no, just let's go to the bathroom. You want us to pee in our pants, huh? Get studies one like that. Number two, teachers who are mad and take it out on the students. I think this happens mostly with women teachers, because certain cycles during the month may cause them to be mad. Because I haven't seen this really happen in male teachers, but students can tell when teachers in a bad mood, because they sort of storm in, they sit down at their desk and say, and then when a student tries to act smart or something like that, and they say, I'm really not in the mood today, don't do anything. Sit down, write on your notes. If anyone says anything, detention. And and then there's always that one kid who's just trying to use that average kid, and all of a sudden he drops his pencil and say, hey, can you pick that up for me? And the kid says, detention! And then it's like, whoa. It's like that meme with that guy who puts up his hand and it's like, whoa, chill. It's like, what, you want his pencil? And then they want all the class to be quiet, and then they go overboard and everything. It's like, just chill. And then the most infuriating part about this is when it's on the student side, when the student goes in the classroom with a bad mood, it's not justified, because then they just say, get over it, just change your attitude, you have control over that. But when the teacher does it, it's completely justified. I mean, what kind of double standard is that? That's probably one of the most annoying things, that little double standard there, that teacher can come in mad, but a student can't. And they even have signs for it too, which is the most ironic thing to me. Teachers who only use book learning is number three. I'm sure everyone always has that one teacher who it seems like isn't a teacher. They literally just say, take notes, do worksheets, here's a test. Take notes, do worksheets here. There's nothing in between. I feel like they're not actually teaching you anything, because if I want to take notes from a book, do worksheets printed out from a book, and then take a test that's standardized by a book, I could learn from the book, then why is there a teacher there? It's like, I mean, the teacher is there. I mean, the book is supposed to standardize the curriculum, but the teacher's there to answer questions, tell them the class move along, to teach the class. Because if the class only need to be teach from the book, then all students be staying at home learning from the book. They wouldn't have to go to school. Excuse me. So it's really annoying when that happens. I mean, it's like, what's the teacher's logic? Are they just lazy, or, I mean, I don't know. Number 4, teachers who punish all students. Probably the most frustrating thing among students. When, like, say there's a few students and then the whole class gets punished. I'm sure everyone has experienced this. Just a few days ago, we were in the lunch line, you know, and they recently changed the schedule where there are like 200 kids in one lunch period. So, you know, it's a super long line. So if you do not get there first, I mean, it's like you'll be waiting forever. So obviously, all the students want to be the first ones in the line, so they come running down the stairs. And luckily, we have class first. I was like power walking down there, and I get in the line with a few of my friends, and all of a sudden we see this big crowd who usually like comes from some class. They always run, and then they just start pushing everyone, and like it's just a huge mob that comes in. And you know, the lunch lady comes in, and she informs the security guard to everyone from one of my friends, and then to another person. This huge chunk of people go to the back of the line. And you know, it was really frustrating for my friend. He was obviously frustrated because he didn't push anyone. He was literally at the front where everyone got pushed. So, you know, I mean, it's hard to tell who it was, but seriously, it's kind of upsetting when you're that those few people get punished for others' actions. Teachers say it happens, it's part of life. Life is unfair, but come on, seriously. Now I'm going on to the students segment. Students who act dumb around subs. Now, I don't get kids' logic sometimes, because obviously, whenever the teacher knows they're going to be gone a certain day, they spend the whole class that day reminding them, be good tomorrow, there's a sub tomorrow. Be good for the sub. Don't give the sub a hard time, or there will be consequences. I don't know if this passes right through the student's head or what. And this mostly happens in elementary school, but in middle school too. And then, the next day, there's always a few group of kids like me who remember, actually, the teacher said, don't act dumb around the sub or there will be consequences. But for some reason, the 60% of the class decides, oh, there's a sub today, let's act out. And we all know these subs, they act like these subs are stupid. They're not stupid. They've been subbed for many teachers before. That's why they're a substitute. So they know the teacher left a note. And the teacher wants to know how the class behaved during the day while there's a sub. It happens every time. So, but somehow they still think that the sub is dumb, that they won't record their behavior. And obviously, almost every time the next day, the teacher comes in, reads a note, gets really mad, and the class is either silent or, you know, some sort of punishment that people who are good like me have to deal with. And then all of a sudden the students are all mad, like, oh, well, why is this? Why do you think it is? The teacher warned you. I mean, like, what do you expect was gonna happen? Do you expect the teacher would come in and say, I think the substitute was lying. I think you guys were great. You know what? I'm gonna give you guys a golden star. Here's a bunch of money and flowers for doing good. No. And what do you expect? Second thing for the students who procrastinate on projects. Now, I have the luxury of having my teachers, whenever they say there's a group project that you have the decision by working by yourself, but you know, occasionally I get stuck with a group, and almost always I regret it at the end, because it's a huge headache. And for some reason, I always tell the groups, the people in my group, it's usually 3 or 4 people, I always yell in their ear, do this by Wednesday, please. We need it done. This counts for your grade too. And you don't care about your grade, please care about mine. Because I'm trying to do something with my life and not be broke, so I can afford video games when I'm bored. I'm just kidding. Anyway, and then they always show up Wednesday. They have some excuse. They say, well, I have 5 things to do. You know what? I had 5 things to do too. You're acting like you're the only one in the group that has a life. Everyone has a life. They have stuff to do, but you know what? They still get stuff done. That's how life works. No matter how much stuff you do, you still get stuff done. Unless you were up until 8 o'clock. I mean, well, let's see, our school starts at 7. So most people wake up around 6. So unless you were up until 5:59 a.m., you should have gotten that stuff done. Unless you were up the whole time, you had absolutely no time to do it, you should have gotten that stuff done. You might have been tired, you might have been worn out, you might have gotten home at after midnight, and then you still have to do homework. We don't care. You know what? That's gonna happen in college. It's probably gonna happen in high school. Nobody cares, because you know what? No one's gonna care about your sob story. That's just how life works. And then, but somehow this doesn't get through their heads. They always do something stupid. Then the rest of the group has to make up for it and do their share. And then, you know, they usually end up getting a B in their project, barely, because the rest of the group saved because of this 1 or 2 people that didn't do anything. Now, my final thing on the students, and my final thing for today is students just acting plain dumb. Now, this has to go in here with my previous story of how the students pushed everyone in line, because you think about how is that necessary? I mean, you were already near the line. You could have had your place, and students do cut, but what would pushing every single person in front of you accomplish? Just think about that for a moment. What would that accomplish? Will you get to the front of the line faster? No, because people in the front of the line are still at the front. You're not pushing them out of the way, because obviously that's not going to happen. I mean, what are you going to accomplish from there? I mean, is your brain functioning? This only goes along with fights too. I don't get why students fight, because there's never a legit reason for it. It's always, they talked about my mama, and even though you can always say you never met my mother, just let it go. It's never for a legit reason, like the student punched me and I have to defend myself, or the fact that the student is trying to physically hurt one of my friends and I'm trying to hold them back. No, it's always, oh, they said something about me, and you know, I ain't letting that go. No, I'm a gangster. No, you're not. No, you're not. Just stop. You're embarrassing yourself, to be honest. Those people will watch you fight. They're not adoring you. They're probably laughing because it's entertainment basically for them. So that's my little rant on school. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure many of you can relate to this if you're students, or maybe if you were students in the past. And if you're teachers, please take some of the tips. Please don't do some of the things I listed, or if you don't do them anymore. Anyway, that's me. Subscribe, like, favorite, subscribe, you know, all that crazy stuff. And